All right. Let's see. Let me change my camera. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Forget that. All right. So, as part of this session, I will be going through 5 resumes. I got some more, but people are not signing up today, so I will. I will send the feedback offline to them, whoever gave me their resumes. But let me share one. Share. All right. First, Havish. All right. So basically, first things first. Uh, for the folks who are like entry levels and looking for jobs, I strongly suggest create a portfolio website, because I'm seeing a lot of folks sending me portfolio websites which are amazing. I recently created a video on that, as a lot of folks asked me about this, how to create, and it will not take more than 10 minutes. Um, so if you have like less than 2 years of experience, you will still be considered as fresher. So I would strongly suggest go for the portfolio websites, so that while sending to uh, recruiters, you can send directly the portfolio website where your resume will also be attached as part of that. All right, as part of this meeting, let's go over these resumes. Okay, I do see this is good, a strong title. This is also good, a customized LinkedIn profile. Okay, everything seems good for the intro part. Okay, so going to the education section, it is recommended to not have education as the first section, because recruiters, what do you think like recruiters care about the most? I don't think so. It's for sure the education. Obviously your college matters to filter out your resume, but this is not like the highest priority. So I would move the education section down after like work experience. Okay. um, so as part of this, I do see coursework as well as masters, and this is great. It is very clear when you started and when you finished, and what is the course that you enrolled in, and also bachelor. So sometimes people generally give GPA, but it actually doesn't matter. It's Yeah, it's a waste of use. I don't believe that is the most important one. um, so education section is looking great, but only thing is smooth this down. Going to the skills section, I see languages, data tools, development tools, database management, other development tools, and certifications. This is great. Uh, I hope you actually sorted this in the level of comfort or the level of expertise that you have. If not, change all the languages, or what are all the sections that you're putting here. Make sure first one is like your top one, because recruiters will not have much time to go over your resume point by point. So generally they look probably one or two languages, and if that is what the open position requires, then that will be a great fit. But most of the companies doesn't actually go with the languages. All the interviews will be in the language agnostic. So it is preferred, though, the job that you're applying to and the language that you have here are matching as like your top preference, so that it will boost your chances. Okay. So I would recommend at least be thorough in the first two languages that you add here, and rest all, it depends. If you're moderate expertise, and it's totally fine. Okay, going to languages, this is good. Data tools. So I don't know what you meant by data tools, but I do see here, from the list, ETL, Hadoop, Apache, Kafka. So all are related to data analytics tools, probably. So maybe instead of data tools, go for like analytics tools or something like that. Okay. Development tools. Um, I believe instead of development tools, probably go for the web pages might be the right term, or look for any closer term which is related to the front end technologies. But if you ask me, I would go for the web technologies here. Okay, database management, great. GraphQL, NoSQL, SQL. Okay, other development tools, AWS, Docker, Kubernetes, Git. So some of them are useful, but this is too broad, I would say, because AWS has a lot of web services. Again, Docker is on its own, Kubernetes is also on its own. You don't need actually Git to put it here. No need of Jenkins, no need of Terraform. Probably Pandas and Numpy might be okay. But if your expertise in, or if you worked on any of particular microservices, I would list it down separately. Like for example, in my resume, I listed down different microservices like SNS, uh, EC2, S3, and etc. DynamoDB, etc. So if your expertise in any of the AWS microservices, make sure you put it there, because I did look at some of the job requirements where they specifically tell about some of these microservices. So it's okay to add microservices as part of it. And if you worked on AWS, it's fine. Otherwise, even if you worked on any Google microservices, put it there. But you actually don't need probably these three here. Uh, but it's up to you. So certifications, this is actually great to have, but it seems that you need to highlight this for sure, because not a lot of people will have that. So I would create a separate section for certifications itself under experience. And then I believe you will have a link to gain the credibility once you finish the certifications. So if you have any, make sure to link it, next to this. If you don't have, if I go to probably your LinkedIn, let's see, looks like I shared this one as well. All right, so let's look at your LinkedIn later. But if you already have the certifications, make sure you update this in the LinkedIn for sure. Okay. Okay, going to the experience, which is the most important section. Um, Data engineer, I do see there are different positions here. Data engineer, software engineer. So I would do this. I would create two different resumes. If you're focusing on data side, go for data engineer as your first preference, and then probably convert this one also into data engineer. And you know uh, I don't want you to put all the software engineering experience here, but along with this, try to see what are the some of the tools that you used where it could be related to data science or data engineer, uh, so that it will be counted as some years of experience. So prepare two resumes, one for data engineer and one for software engineer. And for this one, for software engineering positions, make this also as a software engineer one. Okay. Now, going to this. Okay, I do see you worked at University of Florida. Fine. I believe if you worked under a professor and if you have less than 2 years of work experience, I actually prefer to write something like this because uh, if you're working, I mean, even though if you're not like a professional software engineer, but you are working under a professor with some guidance, which will be actually counted as a software engineer for sure. So if you have more than 5 years of experience, I don't want you to add the data engineer who while you're working at while you're doing your masters, as well as like don't add your intern experience under your main work experience, because it will not be counted. But if you have less than 2 years of work experience, this is great to have. Okay. uh, okay, let's go over into data engineer. An end-to-end patient analytical board to monitor and analyze health data collected from Apple Watch to AWS. So main rule of thumb, recruiters will actually look probably at your first 2 points on your first job, and maybe probably the first 2 points in your second job. That's it. They will not have time to go over like each and every point. So whatever you're writing, especially the first 2 points, make sure they are very very clear. And also put it in a format like, what is the position, sorry, what is the problem that you faced, and what did you do to solve the problem, and what is the output result. Maintain this format. I mean, you can maintain this format for all the points that you kept, but make sure these are the points at least for the first two ones. Okay. Now here, as I see, this is very very broad to me, um, and I don't know what you did actually. Probably a team player or a team member. I'm not sure. Uh, Maybe you can do something like implemented as like an action verb. Always start with some kind of action verb, like implemented, led a project, managed a team, or optimized an endpoint or something like that. So if you look at my resume video, I mentioned about these action verbs. So please take a look if not already. So if I were you, I would probably do or rewrite the first point, starting with an action verb. Implemented an end-to-end patient and analytical board to monitor and analyze health data collected from, instead of Apple Watch, probably do like a smart devices to AWS, and also to AWS is very vague to me. So at least the action, or at least the problem statement is clear what you did, and how you solved it, it is there, and what is the end result for this is missing. So think about it. If you want me to give a suggestion, something like this: implemented an end-to-end patient analytical board to monitor, analyze health data collected from smart devices to whatever, instead of AWS, to S3 or something like this, uh, which is used by patients to reduce X number of something. Continue a sentence, something like that. So you got it right. You need to show what is the problem that you faced, how did you solve it, and what is the end result. Okay. Going to the next one, created a Swift UI data collection system, boosted user battery life by 30%. So this also looks not complete, but better because it has like a number, like what is the end result. But you know, I prefer not having all the technologies as part of your problem statement. You can add the technologies statement as a last point for each and every role that you worked on, and then list down all the technologies. So focus instead of on the technologies, what is the broad problem that you solved. um, just for as an example, you don't have to do like an end-to-end project, but if you're part of at least small part of that particular project, own that. Something like, by doing this, I did see the impact and reduced or improved the performance by X number, something like that. Okay. So definitely this needs a revision, at least the first 2 points. So let me go to the next one. Build a React Built a React.js website deployed in AWS EC2 with the real-time access to the patient studies and insights using AWS Lambda with Python, JavaScript, and Java API Gateway, RDS DynamoDB, fostering user engagement in personalized health data. So again, this is great. As I said, take out all the technologies as part of the statement itself and focus on what you did and what is the outcome that you got. So make sure whenever it is possible, maintain this format, and that will definitely boost your chances of getting your resume filtered. Okay, I do see an action verb, which is great. Implemented AWS Kinesis for real-time data streaming, Apache Spark on AWS EMR for processing, and AWS Redshift for data warehouse. So this could be, again, there is a lot of technologies here. So reread this. Uh, Going to the next one, data processing reduced by 25% and delivering insights to professionals through the data ETL pipelines. Great. So this should come as an end result. So this can go to the first one and then it can come later. Okay. All right. Going to software, sorry, the next position, I do see all the dates, which is very clear. I like your format actually. And also you mentioned the company here after your job title, which is great. Okay. Created data pipelines and development pipelines that help to automate the data ingestion and fasten the development process. Design few functionalities in web applications using React.js as front end, Java as a backend. Great. You can just take this out, and the first point looks good. So you can just continue with what is the outcome or what is the output that you got after creating the pipelines. Okay. Obtained project details and devised all the related test cases resulting in a 35% reduction in bugs and 30% increase in overall software quality. The automation process using Selenium scripts ran using Jenkins. This is great, but you don't have to tell all this stuff here, but you can add the technologies later. So one other thing that I wanted to tell was, for the first job, you added like 5 points here. For the second job, you added like 2 points. But I do see you have like 2 years of work experience. So these points are not enough. So either make it 3 and 3 here. If you worked on the single project for the whole 2 years, this is totally fine. Think about what is a major problem that you solved in the first year and second year and the overall in the project, and divide it into 3 different things so that it will have a similar pattern. Okay. Okay. Going to the next one, software developer intern. Again, I mean, not me, but generally recruiters don't count intern as your real time work experience. So prefer add another section for internship, and then add it there. So it will make you stand out because we can clearly see that you actually intern in so and so company, which is great, but this doesn't count as like a real-time work experience. Okay. Developed a real-time messaging app with Spring Boot and WebSocket, which allowed 25% faster communication. This is great, actually. I like this statement. Use Docker for CI/CD and Kubernetes for scalability. Features include multimedia support, secure login, and group management. Now, this one could be totally added as a separate point, and you can actually take this out and add it to the technology section. But overall, work experience looking good. Just the little tweaks, at least for the first 2 points, as I mentioned, with the problem statement, how you solved, and what is the end result. Okay. Going to project section, detection and analysis of dementia using different classification methods. Okay, this is great. Design a real-time based application with integrated patient management services like calendars and email, supported by robust REST API for seamless access. A machine learning model that improves patient outcome by 20% by analyzing historical and real-time data. Okay, great. So one thing that I would like to add was, you need to, if you have all this source code, make sure you push it to GitHub and add links here. Generally, when I'm reviewing resumes, if people have like less than 2 years of work experience, I generally look at each and every project that they worked on. And if there is any GitHub link, it will add authenticity that you actually did this. So not telling like, you know, not having will not give advantage, but having GitHub will definitely, GitHub links here for each and every project will definitely boost your profile. Okay. So that you written overall 3 academic projects, which is great. So overall, I think this is looking good. You just need minor tweaks like move the education section down after your work experience and before projects. Make sure, because you have good certificates here, make sure you put a different section for the certifications and then add it, and also add the links if you have to show your credibility. If you have, uh, and under experience, put only 2 for the data engineer, and also convert this into data engineer and create a different resume for the software engineer and apply it accordingly. Make another section for the internships and add it here with couple of points. But apart from that, it's looking great. You don't need many tweaks. All right. Going to the next one. Most of the points that I told here might be repeated, but let's see. All right. Overall format is looking good. I do see there is a lot of space wastage, here, but more experience going forward. I mean, for now it's totally fine, but once you gain 10 years of experience, something like that, once you start gaining your experience, you need to be proactive about the space wastages here. Uh, so I would say put your name here so that you will have a lot of space. Okay. Now this is www. Change it to LinkedIn, and also this is not the customized URL. So probably customize this to your own thing. It's a small thing. You can do it, and they have LinkedIn have a feature to customize it. So why not? Okay, going to skills. So let me check your summary first. So passionate development professional with 4 years of experience in the project coordination, stakeholder management, client servicing, and customer experience. At this company, led multiple projects and collaborated with non-profit and corporate entities to achieve project goals. quick learner, organized, and highly motivated with a focus on delivering high quality results. All right. So I would say put a couple of bullet points in your summary. Okay. Telling about what you are professional at, what is your expertise, and what you can contribute to. For example, for me, you know, uh, my focus points will be something like I have 8 years of experience in software development industry or software engineer as a software engineer, and I'm very well expertise in building scalable web applications using so and so technologies. And I'm looking forward for any roles, like give you a role, your whatever you are aiming for, like a senior software engineer, uh, with your preferences. Something like give you can tell you are more interested in the microservices or the web applications, or you wanted to focus on the back end or data side. So probably put data points so that it will be easy for any recruiter to grasp it easily than going over a paragraph. Okay. So under skills section, project management. So I think you can still be elaborate about project management, like what your expertise in the project management. Okay. And you don't have to write MS Excel, Word, PowerPoint. These are like not needed. SQL is great. Power BI is great. Google spreadsheets and presentation, I don't think so. This is also needed. Basic Python. So you don't have to tell the basic Python. You can just Python as one of your skills. That's totally fine. And when you actually get all, you can tell that you are just starting Python. Okay. Stakeholder management and client servicing. So I see there are two different type of skills here. One related to technologies, and other thing related to your management skills. So probably if you're aiming, you know, like in a management role, go for the management skills and the technical skills as separate things, and then you can list down it separately. Going to education section, 2016, you can, instead of writing BTech, you can write bachelor's of education. Okay. ECE, your university, and okay. So I would say, instead of putting it here, put your graduation date after, you know probably somewhere here after BTech. Okay. Same goes for here. uh, you don't have to actually do the intermediate education at all. You can take this out. You don't even have to put all the languages here, uh, because no one actually cares unless your role requires it, but no one cares. Okay. Going to experience. So this is me, this is your place, and this is your position. So I would suggest go for the position first, and then company next, then the place, then your dates. Okay. You can rechange the format. Take ownership of the client's issues and follow problems through to result, providing regular updates to client on the status of projects. So as I said before, start with action verbs, and then think about what is a problem and how did you solve it and what is the output. So this is applicable for across all the roles, no matter if you're a software engineer or not. It does apply because we can clearly see what is how you solved it and what is the output that you got. Okay. So convert at least the first two into that format, which will be super helpful. All right. So conduct telephonic interviews, communicate information to candidates, and coordinate with internal teams for successful execution of projects. Uh, you know, I would say these are too broad to grasp. I got the gist, but you know, I am running out of ideas for the suggestion. But good thing to do here is you can copy and paste the same exact sentence to ChatGPT and give the format that I just mentioned. Okay, and it can provide different suggestions and use one of them. Right. Uh, Going to the next one, establish, monitor, and update workable project schedules, collaborated with clients, departments, provide direction and guidance to the product manager as appropriate. Okay, this is looking great. Assume completely responsibility for client projects, ensuring top quality work, prepare reports and presentations for senior management to review on ground and operations. Okay, this is also looking perfect. Don't have to change anything. Hold initial meetings with potential clients to define their needs and recommend customized service solutions. Sure. So I believe, some of these points could be combined. Like for example, at least the last two, because they go hand in hand, and this can show the results that we are intended to write anyways. Okay, so stick it to maximum 3 bullet points, or max 4, and then combine all these extra points to showcase your results. All right, going to the next one, same comment here. First, add your position, and then your company, and then where you're located at, or the work location, and then your dates. All right. Retaining and renewing customers as well as maximizing the revenue while upselling. Okay. Driving towards customer delight and ensuring smooth rendering of services, acting as a consultant to clients and offering them recommended services and solutions. So I do see this one and the last point of your first company are almost similar. I'm not telling it shouldn't be the same, but give more clarity on what is the solutions that you uh, provided or recommended, and what is the output that you got. So that way both these points will be little different, because obviously the solution or the problem that you faced and the solution that you have provided are not the same. Okay. Going to the next one, customer support executive, the same comment here as well. Provided sole technical support to customers for the phone, taking control of Android TV remotely for RD, answered customer inquiries via phone, email, and chat. Proficient in handling escalated calls and providing first and second level technical support to end users for Bravia LCD and LED TVs. Provided information about products and services. Okay, great. Looks good overall, the format, but here you incorporate all the comments so that you will have better chance for resume filtering. All right. So going to the next one. Okay, same comment as the previous one. There is a lot of space wastage. You can bring all this to the top. Do see your email, contact, and your LinkedIn. Same comment as here. To cut it short, instead of giving the whole LinkedIn thing here, you can just add LinkedIn or with a customized one. Then cut it short. Okay. Going to skills, programming languages. You don't have to write Java and Java 8. It's totally fine if you were restricted to only Java 8 and not updated with the latest Java version, but it's totally fine. You can just write Java, HTML, CSS. So I believe these go under web technologies or front-end technologies. But it's totally up to you. If you know JavaScript, you can also add it here under programming languages, because this is one of the famous and the most used language across companies. Okay. As part of web technologies, I do see RESTful API development and Hibernate. It's totally fine. Databases, JDBC, MongoDB, NoSQL, great. Frameworks, Spring Data, JPA, Spring MVC. Okay, bad. Tools, you don't have to actually define the tools here. You can take that out. You don't have to include methodologies as well. You can take testing frameworks and APIs. JUnit, using Mockito framework, testing and debugging on IDE, Swagger API, and Postman API. So I would, if you wanted to write, you know, testing frameworks, I mean, these are pretty common for any software engineers to have. So unless you're looking for SDET role, I don't want, you don't have to write down some things related to testing framework. But if you wanted to showcase that you are expertise in, Swagger, Postman, or something like that, add it somewhere, under probably do the frameworks instead of the web technologies, and then add the framework that you use for the RESTful web services or the APIs that you used, along with Swagger, Mockito framework, and etc. Okay. Log management, again, go under probably tools. I think it's fine. Log management. I mean, it's good to have Elasticsearch, Logstash expertise, anyways. So I think it's fine. So position of responsibility, development team lead at your respected company. So I mean, as part of work experience, you will tell anyways like what is your current position. So I don't see this is like a redundant information here. So you can take this out completely. Achievements. Again, this is not needed at all. Best outgoing student, because companies actually don't care unless you made or you have some certifications or you actually got some sort of medal in the company where you can show them or where there is a credibility for you. Unless something like that is there, you can totally skip it. Okay, but overall, your template looks good. uh, don't have to update any template. Okay, going to summary. Skilled Java developer with 2 years of experience, specialized in the REST API development with Spring frameworks, proficient in database management using MySQL, Postgres, MongoDB, and NoSQL, seeking opportunities to contribute effectively to collaborate environment. This is great. So instead of a paragraph again, make it 2 bullet points. The first one, it can go as is, and second one, it requires an update. So what are you currently seeking? It doesn't, I mean, you have to tell what you are actually looking for. Like, for example, a senior engineer or a software engineer or a back-end engineer or a front-end engineer or a full stack engineer, something like that. Uh, and then, as I mentioned earlier, you can also have some sort of preference that you wanted to work for web services as your expertise there. So this requires some tweak. Okay. Again, so as I mentioned before, your education should go after experience because companies doesn't care much compared to the experience section. So it can be moved down. Masters of Computers Applications. Again, it's up to you. CGPA is not mandated to have, but I do see you have 8.6. So obviously you wanted to write it down. Totally fine. But you don't have to add the bold, as the bold format here. You can just have the normal format here like this. Okay, going to experience software engineer one. You don't have to tell software engineer one. You can just tell software engineer, followed by your company and dates, which is looking great. Okay, this is fine. Developed and web applications using Java, Spring Boot, and Hibernate. Okay, same comment here as well. Don't put all the technologies for each and every point. It is waste of space. Make another section for the technologies under your job title. Then add all the technologies relevant to your position. Okay. Again, so you said like developed and maintain web applications, but you did not mention what is a web application and what is the problem that you solved and what is the outcome that you got. So definitely this requires a revisit. Follow the same format as I mentioned. Design and implemented RESTful APIs to support front-end applications. So this is very, very broad. So I would suggest, designed and implemented, you started with a strong action word, which is great. RESTful APIs, which is also great. It's clear. Um, but what is this RESTful web services that you designed and implemented? Okay, what is the problem that you solved, and what is output? So I know it's boring that I'm repeating this sentence, but this is what actually recruiters are looking at while they are skimming your resume. Okay. Um, Utilize Postgres for database management and optimize performance. This is also great because the first two you are telling about your web application, and then you talked about your RESTful API, and then you're talking about how you optimized using probably Postgres or some sort of database management or the technology. But elaborate this. Optimize performance for so and so query, which led to 30% increase in the user front end API, or uh, for the users to look, or the view time, something like that, so that it will be very strong on what you actually solved and what is the result that you got. Okay. Utilize JSON tokens for efficient data interchange and integration in the various applications. Fine. Collaborated with cross-functional teams to deliver software solutions with agile environments. Utilize Git for version control and continuous integration tools for automated testing and deployment. Debugged and resolved issues, ensuring minimal downtime and optimal user experience. So the last 2 points are related to, again, testing. So last 2 points could be combined totally. Okay. Collaborated with cross-functional teams to deliver software solutions with agile environments, which is great point. But you don't have to tell the agile environment, but there is this is also very, very broad. So what is the cross-functional team that you actually collaborated, and what is the software solution that you implemented or recommended, and what is output? Okay. So follow the format. Going to your next experience, AI developer internship. Now this doesn't come under work experience, so maintain a different fund for internship. And probably your format of the roles that you added here could be changed. Uh, you can, make this start from here, and then maybe, yeah, it's looking somewhat clumsy if I'm looking closer. So probably think about a different format of writing down your positions. Okay. Developed and maintain web applications using Python, HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. It's great. Again, there is no problem statement. There is no end result. Uh, all right. Overall, this is looking good, but it does requires a lot of improvement, which will boost your chances. Okay. Let me go for the next one. This is the one that we already got into. Okay. Let me go. Let me take down another one. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Summary: MCOM graduated seeking opportunities to build a career in reputation organization with a strong foundations in commerce, finance, and management. I'm eager to enhance my learning and expertise in my field, auditing and finance. Not bad. Technical skills. You mention your skills, work experience, education, which is great. Academic project, certification, languages. You don't have to add the languages here. You can take that out. Summary. I believe you can add another point again. Uh, this is great, but this can be improved a lot. Ask ChatGPT, give the same thing, and ask the format that I mentioned earlier. Then just use this one of the suggestions given by ChatGPT options. Technical skills, work experience. So I believe overall, looking at your resume, this is looking very plain to me. Probably you can use some of the formatted uh, resume templates. There are a lot of templates that are available online for free. Probably use one of the templates there, and use the same uh, use the same sections like summary technical skills, because your sections looks great. It's just that the template is not catchy as it's looking very plain to me. Okay. Account trainee. Okay, your position, where you worked at, and your dates. So make it capital, at least the first one, to maintain the consistency. You need to write or elaborate for sure, because this will not get filtered. So in your resume, if you have a lot of keywords, so the first process for any resume filtering in order to go to HR is they will have an application tracking system, and it need to have a lot of keywords. And if you don't elaborate what you actually worked on, it's very hard for your resume to get picked up. So make sure you elaborate each and every point that you added. Okay. And this is not consistent enough. The account trainee, there is no bullet point, but there is bullet point here, so it's very vague. uh, and now here at least you added what you did, but here you did not add it, so this requires a lot of this need to be rewritten. Sorry about that. Going to education to see all this stuff, which is great. Academic projects, again, if you have any links or any portfolio websites or any anything that you can present in the online, then add definitely to the academic project section. Okay. Certifications, again, if you have some kind of credibility, a certificate or something like that, add the links here, so you don't have to add language here. All right, I have one other resume, but I'm running out of time. But I hope this is helpful to some of you guys, my comments on the feedback. But if you have any questions, more questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Or you can reach out to me in the comments in this video. I will take a look later, and I will respond to your comments. Okay. Until next, happy coding, and happy job applications. All the very best. Bye.